Hi folks, Grit Laskin here in Toronto in my workshop, but I'm saying hello to you just to pass along congratulations to the Calgary Folk Club for hitting that monumental anniversary of 50 years. A wonderful club, a reputation that's international, and as one of the founders of the Canadian Folk Music Awards, I'm delighted to be able to say this club has supported us consistently from the beginning more than any other venue in the country. And we really appreciate it. I hope you folks have a wonderful night and celebrate this terrific milestone, 50 years. Amazing. Take care.
Hi, Jim Fleming. Congratulations to the crown jewel of folk clubs in North America on this, your 50th anniversary. I've had the pleasure of working with you for over 40 of those years and bringing Stan Rogers, Connie Calder, Doogie McLean, Tom Paxton, Judy Collins, to name a few, to play for the wonderful folks there in Calgary. Thanks for all the important work you've done and for the pleasure of having worked with Annie and Mansell and then with the dynamic and wonderful Suze Casey.
Okay. Happy birthday, Calgary Folk Club. Happy 50th birthday. I've lit a candle, as you see, for your cake. We're here in Montreal. And we were delighted to celebrate 50 years. I think I've been through many of those years. Well, not the first year, thank goodness. I'm not quite that old. But I have seen the years of the Wild Colonial Boys. I've been in several halls, some of which I think smelled like pickled herring. And it's always been a pleasure to bring music there. My sons were probably babies the first time those volunteers were watching them as I got up on stage to sing. And they have grown up through, and the last time they were playing there, holding their own in the Calgary Folk Club and having a good time just like I did at their age. So, happy birthday. And I have to say, to just show how you've integrated into my life in an insidious fashion, we're recording an album. We have all these songs, and Paul says, no, I think we should do this song. It's an old song. It's way old. I probably sang it in those old days. It was about I lived in the Seaforth Hotel in Seaforth, Ontario, and the bar downstairs had a table of guys that came in. They were called the Old Boys, and they were always there every time we went in. Anyway, so I wrote this song about them, and Paul says, no, I think we should do it. I've really enjoyed singing it. And I said, I don't know, an old song. We've got so many other songs. He says, Connie, think of singing this at the Calgary Folk Club, pounding on the table. And that's what won it over onto the list, although I'm not allowed to bang on the table because it jiggles the camera, apparently. So you'll just have to imagine that. And I'm going to sit on my hands to stop me from doing it.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
It's a shame, have another beer. Hey, honey, come over here. The old boys are out again tonight. It's a shame, have another beer. Hey, honey, come over here. The old boys are out again tonight. It's another Saturday night, and you know it's no surprise. They're all in the corner with a glazed look in their eyes. It comes after the 100th beer and the 80th story they told. Isn't it a shame, Johnny, that people have to grow old? It's a shame, have another beer. Hey, honey, come over here. The old boys are out again tonight. It's a shame, have another beer. Hey, honey, come over here. The old boys are out again tonight. Another beer. Hey, honey, come over here. The old boys are out again tonight. It's a shame, have another beer. Hey, honey, come over here. The old boys are out again tonight. Happy birthday, Calgary Folk Club, and the legion of wonderful volunteers that keep it as wonderful as it is. Thank you. Thanks to Suze, too.
Hello Calgary Folk Club, this is Judy Small bringing you the warmest of greetings from the late summer in Melbourne, Australia. Congratulations on your 50th anniversary. That is an extraordinary achievement for a folk club that relies entirely on volunteers. I remember well the times that I played at Calgary Folk Club in the 80s and the 90s, And it was one of my favourite places to play, and no, I don't say that to all the folk clubs. You have a very educated and sophisticated audience, very enthusiastic. I remember their singing very well. And the best thing about the Calgary Folk Club for me was that you had the Wild Colonial Boys, so that by the time I got on stage, the audience was already very well warmed up and very receptive to what I had to offer. I have a particular memory of the Calgary Folk Club, and that was the last time I played there in the 1990s, the early 1990s, I think, when before the show, I was in the green room and a knock came to the door, and I opened the door, and there was a little girl. I suppose she was about 10 or 11. And she told me that she was doing a school project on me, and could she come in and interview me before the folk club started. I think I was so gratified to find that it was a music project and not a history project that I let her in. And she was an incredible young woman. She knew all my songs backwards. She knew all the words and all the themes. And she asked me questions that I'd never been asked before or since by any interviewer. And one in particular stayed with me. She said, "You write lots of songs about the women in your life, about your great-great-great-great-grandmother in Mary Parker's Lament, and about your mother in Mother's Daughters' Wives," and she mentioned several others. And she said, "Why don't you ever write songs about your father?" And I thought that was a really good question, and I took it away with me from that concert. And a little while later I wrote a song called Song of My Father, which has become one of my favourites to sing, and an audience favourite as well. So every time I sing that song, I now think of the Calgary Folk Club. So congratulations to all of you, those of you who've been there for almost 50 years. I suspect that some of you have been there the whole time. And those of you who've come on board in the meantime, congratulations on an amazing anniversary. Truly, I think it is unique in the folk world. And I wish you all the very best for your celebrations. Bye.
Dear Calgary Folk Club, first, congratulations upon your 50th anniversary as the biggest and best folk club in North America. Chuck, Tom, and I cannot tell you how much we enjoyed our times with you. Our nights at the club with the Wild Colonial Boys, with Johnny, Mansell, John, and the rest of you are seated deeply in our hearts and minds. We talk about you more than you might know. Your welcoming hearts and voices made us feel like Calgarians. We have sung your praises from Halifax to Orlando to Los Angeles to Seattle. We miss you all. Keep singing. P.S. Our song, Calgary, My Home Away from Home, is sung loud and clear in Boston, New York City, Washington, D.C., Ireland, and, of course, Portland, Maine, USA. Very warmly, Steve and Chuck Romanoff, Schooner Fair.
Hi, Joe Janks here, and I wanted to say congratulations to the Calgary Folk Club on 50 extraordinary years of presenting music. Folk artists from across Canada, North America, and around the world have found a welcome home in Calgary as a result of the extraordinary crew of volunteers, the leadership of Suze Casey and many others, and as a result of the fact that you value the music and you value the people who make it. I have to tell you, as a touring musician, that makes all the difference in the world. To walk into an environment where the work of my life is celebrated and valued and appreciated is the thing that is most likely to guarantee an extraordinary performance. And over the last couple of decades, I've been privileged to play at the Calgary Folk Club on several occasions, and every one of those performances was magical. And the reason it was magical is because all of you create the space, all of you set the table, and then invite us to the feast. So thank you. Congratulations on 50 extraordinary years. May it be at least 50 more. And keep up the great work. Thanks so much.
Hello, Calgary Folk Club, and congratulations on your 50th anniversary. What an exciting milestone to be celebrating. I hope that you know that the Calgary Folk Club is one of my favorite clubs to play, and that is because it's such a warm, inviting club with such good energy. And I think that that energy comes when you have good leadership, good teamwork, people coming together regularly to volunteer their time and to support and celebrate something. And of course, in this case, it's folk music, the folk music that we have here in Canada and abroad, because I know you do have some international artists that come as well. But I am so grateful to you for your support of my career over the years, and I'm so grateful that you have invited me to be part of your community at the Calgary Folk Club. So here's to 50 more years of wonderful music, and I hope you all enjoy the celebrations. Bye.
Calgary Folk Club was our favorite venue, bar none. Touring in Canada was our greatest pleasure, and I have a legion of stories about the kindness and care we received as we toured. We always tied it in with a holiday and looked forward each time to driving the Kananaskis Trail. We are so glad you've made it to 50, and sorry that age precludes us from coming over to join you. As my song says, it's the journey, isn't it? The journey we all make through life. Calgary Folk Club was one of the highlights of our journey, and we thank all of our friends over there for making us so welcome. Happy birthday, Harvey and Wendy Andrews.
Hey there, Calgary Folk Club. Steve Seskin here, and wanted to congratulate you on 50 years of putting on shows. And I thought the best way I could do it was to make up a little song. It's short and sweet. I just want to thank you, Calgary Folk Club, for 50 years of putting on shows. You know how to make us music makers feel at home. Thanks for the memories. I hope we get to make some more. You're an important part of what I do this for. I just want to thank you, Calgary Folk Club, for all the love. Happy 50th. Take good care. Bye.
Kevin Bennett here. Hi from down under, and happy 50th to you all and the wonderful institution that is the Calgary Folk Club. I was lucky enough to be part of the class of 2017, and it is still one of my favorite ever gigs. My first trip to Canada, playing solo when I usually have the cushioning support of my band, singing songs that I knew were Aussie-centric in the mecca for folk musicians everywhere, to a bunch of strangers in another country who had never heard of me. I thought it was madness. I have to say that the welcome I received and the uninhibited response to my songs was amazing and a complete surprise. It shouldn't have been, considering the power of music, its inclusivity, and the fact that music is a language we can all understand. Yet it took the Calgary Folk Club atmosphere for me to witness this firsthand. The crowning moment for me, though, was when I sat down to do what was for me an unexpected encore. The Calgary audience had been so receptive to and appreciative of this unfamiliar music they were hearing. I started singing a cappella, Think I'll Go Out to Alberta, and the whole crowd joined in, and we sang together Four Strong Winds by Ian Tyson. That memory is indelibly etched in my brain, and I definitely will never forget the sound in that room of all of our voices singing that wonderful Canadian song. Many thanks to the gang at the Calgary Folk Club for getting me onto that revered stage and allowing me to have such a beautiful experience. It's all folk music.
Hey everybody, David Roth here, coming to you tonight from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, wishing I were in Calgary to celebrate with you, to celebrate all these years of our community, bringing more meaning and beauty into the world that so dearly needs it. I had a couple decades where I was really on a roll. My first invite to Calgary and 4 more times for shows. 1996 is when my life began to shift by coming across the border to your club. Oh, what a gift. The Politics down south of you have never been so tense. No matter who our leaders are, there is no common sense. That is where you all come in, my compass and my guides. Your mighty heart that beats so loud it cannot be denied. So thank you for these 50 years, may there be 50 more. Thank you for the volunteers who open up the doors, the sound crew, the committees, the bookers and the crowds, the snack folks and the CD sellers. To all of you I bow. Now all these decades later, I'm still hanging by a thread. Thanks to people just like you, a loving life I've led. This Yankee is a better man for knowing you, my friends. May every blessing come your way until we meet again.
Hello and congratulations to the Calgary Folk Club. My name is Valdy and I'm coming to you from Salt Spring Island today, bringing congratulations on 50 years. Hats off to the Calgary Folk Club. It in fact is the club that gave us here on Salt Spring Island the idea and the model for our Salt Spring Folk Club, which has gone 22 to 23 years as we speak. But 50 years, 5 ans! C'est a grand achievement. C'est une bonne chose pour tout. It's wonderful for all of you in Calgary and all of us who have had the honor of playing there over the years. Have a wonderful, wonderful season this year and many more to come. Valdy over and out from Salt Spring Island.
Hi, this is Stephen Fearing, and I just wanted to wish you all at the Calgary Folk Club on your 50th anniversary a very happy birthday, and add to the chorus, I'm sure, the loud chorus of people wishing you well and reminiscing about the connections they have with the club and the volunteer crew and the organization itself. I've always felt incredibly welcome there, and I never take it lightly how important it is to have these points on a tour where you could sort of drop the pretense and drop the armor and just feel at home. It's a rare thing in some ways. A lot of the Canadian clubs have that built-in community that you get to be a part of for a night, for a couple of years, over a period of time. It's such a lovely thing. I'm most grateful. Happy 50th anniversary. Much love to you all.
Hey everybody, 50 years. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations to the Calgary Folk Club. You guys are awesome. I've always thought of the Calgary Folk Club as kind of the flagship for Canadian folk clubs, for Canadian music clubs right across the country. Thank you so much for being there, for Canadian musicians and Canadian songwriters in particular, and for this songwriter especially in particular. I'm so honored to have played your club so many times. It means the world to me, and is always a highlight of any trip across the country. Big thanks to Suze Casey for her belief in Canadian songwriters, and to everyone else who worked for the club and all the volunteers. It means a ton. Can't wait to see you all in September. Way to go. Thank you. Keep on hanging in there. We need you. It means a lot. Bye.
Hello everybody at the Calgary Folk Club. We are Evans and Doherty. How are you? And congratulations on your 50th anniversary. We're so looking forward to coming back and performing for you this September. And here's to the 50th and to the following 50.
Yeah, I'm barely that old, 50. You were going before I was born, like. See you in September.
Have fun.